I think it's time to talk about some expensive items. So we talked about the cheapest Australian weapons before, and you guys seemed to love it. So I thought I would make another video where I talk about the most expensive Australians, but I'm not going to include the pan because it is the golden frying pan. We all know that that would be the most expensive, and technically it's a golden frying pan, not an Australian frying pan, so it wouldn't fit in this list anyway. But either way, we're not going to include it, not going to make it a big deal either. If you do go on to enjoy this video, please make sure you leave it a like and also subscribe to the channel. I'm not going to bore you with stats because everybody complains about it, but it's something you have to do. And yeah, if you think I deserve it at the end of the video, you can do it if you want. Not going to force you though. Thanks. At number 5, we have the Scattergun, which is 26 to 27.9 keys. There will be a dollar amount that appears on the screen as well. So I have to say the Scattergun is still my absolute favourite weapon in the entire game. Favourite Australian weapon too. It's good to see that this is going up in price. It's actually up from 25.6 to 26.2. So it hasn't gone up massively, but it's gone up anyway. It's actually made me a whole $2 to $5 in the year I've owned it, so you know that's kind of cool. Either way, I would highly recommend this. I love it a lot, even if it has dropped massively since I did buy mine. So yeah, I think I paid 40 keys for an Australian scattergun once, but yeah, those were the days. Either way, it is the best gun. I don't want to hear anything different. Okay, so at number 4, we have the Australian rocket launcher. Now, this is priced at 32 to 34 keys. Last year, it was 33.6 to 33.7, so it really hasn't changed all that much. But it was also second place last year. Now it's 4th. Needless to say though, again, this is another one I really like. The Australium itself looks incredible, so I'd understand why it was one of the most expensive ones. The rocket launcher is super popular as well. Not 100% sure why it isn't second place anymore, or why the prices haven't changed as much as the other ones have. But either way, like, it's still quite expensive. It's still a very cool weapon, and it's literally one of the only Australian weapons I kept when I cashed out the whole collection. It is definitely like the cleanest Australian in terms of how the gold looks. It has to be my favourite. Again, this is another one that was probably a little bit more expensive when I got it, but oh well, it was really cool. Next up, we have the wrench at 34 to 37 keys. Now, this is actually up from 32 keys, and it was 4th place last year. And I have to say, I like the wrench. The wrench is a decent looking Australium, but I do find it a little bit weird that there's 2 versions of a golden wrench though. The actual golden wrench, which was only available years ago through crafting at a set time with a limited number of 100 to exist. And then obviously we have the Australian one, which is way more accessible, and you can get it through doing tours, which makes a little bit of sense why they brought it back. But if they wanted it to be like an exclusive thing to have a golden wrench, then maybe they shouldn't. But I guess if they're just doing stock weapons mostly, then it makes sense. Again, this is another Australian that I absolutely love, but I don't play NG, so right now I have no point in owning this, no point spending that much money on it, so I'm not going to. I will have to get it again as part of my main collection if I do ever finish that thing, but for now, it's probably a no. At number 2, we have the Islander at 40 to 43 keys, which is up from 32 to 33, which is pretty good, I guess. It also last year was 3rd place, which I think is more where it belongs because I'm not a massive fan of it, but either way, that's where it is in terms of everything else. I have to say, for years, I have been saying that I don't really like the look of the Australian Islander. Genuinely, I don't think I've ever been a massive fan of this thing. It's come up from 3rd place on the list, like I said, which is good for the Islander. I guess, I don't know who else that would be good for. Owners of the Islander, maybe. But I think it's the fact that the Australian texture isn't like a clean gold. It's like it looks muddy. It doesn't look like as nice and as clean as like the rocket launcher, the scattergun, the wrench, for example. That's another really clean looking gold. And the Islander just is completely different to pretty much every other Australian in the game. It doesn't make sense that they've done it like that, but maybe that's the whole point. I just don't get it. I'm not a massive fan, but I'm not going to stop you from buying it. Anyway, moving on to the number 1 spot, we have the Medgun, which is 47 to 57 keys, which is up from 38 to 40, which is another pretty big increase. While the price of the Medgun has jumped up quite a bit, and so is 2nd place as well, to be fair with the Islander, it was number 1 last year, which is pretty cool. It looks amazing. I do actually really like the Medgun, but again, I don't play Medic, and I have no point in buying one of these. If I played Medic, I wouldn't use anything else. I think the Australian Medgun looks amazing. The way they've broken it up with black and the fact that the gold is a nice looking gold. Like, I love it massively. I find it kind of a shame that most of the good looking Australiums, other than the Scattergun and the rocket launcher and the sniper rifle, are on classes that I just don't play that much, so I have no point in buying. And I don't think I'll start playing a class for an expensive item that I own, because then I'll be even more poor. Either way, I'm fairly happy that the Medgun has a #1 spot, to be fair. Just as long as the Islander is never #1 again, I don't think I'll mind. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure you leave the video a like and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's been amazing to see all of the new subscribers on the channel recently and all of the nice comments you guys have been leaving. So I do read all of the comments. So if you want to say something nice or you want to maybe just be mean, I don't know, then leave a comment down below as well. I think it would be really cool to see if we can hit 72k either today or tomorrow. Maybe even start June hitting off with this milestone. That'd be kind of nuts. And yeah, I think all I want to say now is I appreciate all of the support recently. It's been insane, so just thank you again. It means a lot. Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.